Everyone thinks a MagSafe car charger is a MagSafe car charger, but here is the thing, most of them are just magnets slapped onto slow coils that fall apart in real driving. I went in assuming the ESR HaloLock wireless car charger would be another budget letdown. But after 2 weeks, 300 miles of commuting, a heat wave, and way too many speed bumps, I found something that flips the usual narrative. 7.5W can beat fake 15W if it actually stays cool and aligned. And alignment is the whole game here. The catch, it is not universal and it is picky about cases. That is where most people get burned. Before we dive into what I discovered, quick heads up, if you are already convinced and want the best current price, I put the link below. But hang tight, because what I learned about charging speed, magnet strength, and real-world heat could save you a return. Why did I even try this? My setup was a mess. I run an iPhone 12 Pro for navigation and calls. Waze, Spotify, bright screen, constant Bluetooth, my battery melts on long drives. I tried those clunky clamp mounts that squeeze your phone, 2 hands, fiddly, cables everywhere. Then I tried a couple of magnetic vent mounts that promised MagSafe-like convenience. They were magnets, sure, but the charging was inconsistent, and one of them literally wobbled off the vent on a pothole. I wanted true one-handed snap-on, stable hold, and a charge that at least offsets navigation drain. I was skeptical of anything under $20, but the ESR HaloLock wireless car charger had a 4.3 rating and a clean, no-nonsense design. Lockable vent clamp, adjustable ball joint, portrait or landscape rotation, and a magnetic ring that is supposed to auto-align. On paper, it looked like the affordable fix. I just did not believe it would hold up. Testing time. First, magnet strength and road reality. I mounted it on a horizontal vent with the lockable clamp tightened down, ball joints slightly angled toward me. Using an official MagSafe case, I snapped the iPhone 12 Pro on with one hand and took off. City streets, then a stretch with speed humps, then a brick road section that usually makes mounts cry. It stayed put, not just attached, centered, no sliding. I tried an older TPU case without magnets. Immediate fail. Slipped off with a light tap. Then I tried a HaloLock compatible case with built-in magnets. Rock solid again, so if you do not have a magnetic case, this is not for you. That is not a knock on ESR. That is the rule with this category. But then, charging speed. ESR rates it at 7.5W for iPhone 12. I powered it with a 20W PD car adapter because fast wireless charging requires PD or QC 18W or higher. Starting at 28%, screen at 80% brightness, Waze plus Spotify running, I tracked the percentage every 15 minutes. After 30 minutes, I was at 41%. After an hour, 56%. That is a net gain of about 28% per hour under typical navigation load, right in the 7.5W ballpark. Not blazing, but consistent. With screen off and no apps, I saw closer to 35 to 40% per hour. That is important. It is realistic, not marketing fluff. But then came heat. Midday, car parked in the sun, cabin over 90°F. Wireless charging hates heat, most pads throttle. With no AC blowing through the vent, the phone crept up in temperature and charging slowed. I saw about 15% gain after 40 minutes in that sauna. I turned on the AC, aimed the vent through the mount, and the tide turned. Charging stabilized back near the earlier numbers. That is the advantage of a vent mount. The car's AC becomes your passive cooler. No fan here, no gimmicks, just airflow. But then usability. The ball joint lets you swing from portrait to landscape with one hand. It clicks into place with magnet friction rather than a hard ratchet, so it is easy to microadjust while driving. On rough pavement, there is a tiny shimmy. It is a vent mount after all, but the phone remained viewable and never torqued off. The clamp really matters. I tightened it and tug-tested before driving. On thinner or angled vents, you can get droop. On sturdier horizontal slats, it is great. Round vents, not ideal. Here is where it gets interesting. I expected the low price to mean a weak magnet or flaky coil. Instead, the surprise was that alignment and cooling beat theoretical wattage. I compared it to a no-name so-called 15W magnetic charger. That one heated up and throttled so hard that real-world charge under navigation was worse than ESR steady 7.5W. Input matters too. When I tried powering the ESR from a weak USB port, it underperformed. With an 18 to 20W PD or QC adapter, it hit its stride. That tiny detail decides your experience. I also expected compatibility drama, and yes, it is real. This HaloLock is made for iPhone 12 series and MagSafe style cases. If you have a non-magnetic case or a metal ring that is misaligned, skip it. If you have iPhone 13, 14, or 15, ESR has other HaloLock models that cover those, but this specific listing is 12 focused and tops out at 7.5 W for iPhone. Manage your expectations. It will not give you true 15 W MagSafe speeds. What it will do is give you one-handed mount convenience, stable alignment, and reliable trickle to moderate charging that offsets navigation drain, especially with AC on. For $19.99 and a 4.3-star reality check, that is better than most budget entries. Now that you know the real story, steady 7.5 W plus vent cooling can beat flaky higher watt clones. Grab it while the price is still this low. Stock and pricing bounce around and the right adapter matters, so I linked the charger and a solid 20 WPD car adapter below for the best current deal. Bottom line. If you have an iPhone 12 or 12 Pro, use an official MagSafe or HaloLock magnetic case and want a clean one-handed mount that actually charges while you navigate, the ESR HaloLock wireless car charger is a smart buy. If you demand 15 W speeds, run a thick non-magnetic case, or have soft, round vents, skip it or look at a dashboard or a fan-cooled alternative. For most iPhone 12 drivers, this nails the convenience to price ratio. Snap on, drive, arrive with more battery than you started. That is the win.